everybody. It's January 22nd, 2012. I got onto Facebook and I saw this chart that I've seen now for the third time. My cousin posted it. It says, who increased the debt? And you've probably seen it. It shows different percentages of the last 5 presidents, including the current president. And I've just been thinking to myself, man, this just looks like pure propaganda. I mean, I hadn't researched the numbers, but I know I've been following the national debt for like 20 years or so, just kind of off and on, not like on a daily basis or anything, but this just looked like pure propaganda to me, because I know we're running $1.5 trillion deficits right now, this year, last year, and this showing that Obama's like, spends less than all the other presidents. So I'm going to run you through this, and you're just going to be thrown back. So I hope you're sitting down. I imagine you are, unless you're standing up with a handheld device or something. But anyway, this is incredible. And you're not going to believe what actually happened when this what's the name of the site? It's PolitiFact.com actually found, this chart in error. And Nancy Pelosi's office came out with another chart, which lowers Bush's number and raises Obama's number. So anyway, I'll show you the chart now. Here's a chart that I'm referring to. You've probably seen. And it was originally posted on a Flickr account, a Nancy Pelosi's Flickr account, on May 5th, 2011. And it comes from the Office of the Democratic Leader, down in the bottom. The source is the Treasury Department. The source is treasurydirect.gov. You can go and punch in dates, and it gives you the national debt on any different date, going back 20 years. So if we look at the numbers, you'll see what's really going on here. I mean, when Obama took office, the national debt was $10.6 trillion. It's now $15.2. So we've had the most rapid increase in debt under any president with our current president. So this doesn't reflect that. I mean, I saw where this was posted, and a bunch of people on Facebook were saying, wow, look at this. People need to see the truth. They need to see what's going on here. I mean, this comes from the Treasury Department. I trust them. This is what's really going on. Look at the big spender there. Reagan, man, he just really messed up this country. And Clinton, he didn't do too bad. And Obama, he hasn't done bad at all. Bush, there's another big spender. Look at him. But before I go any further, let me tell you my political leanings. Okay, I consider myself an independent. I don't put faith in either party. I look at, the political system as an eagle. The head is controlling both wings, the right wing and the left wing. So to me, this whole left wing, right wing thing is just to keep us going at it. While the head is what's making the decisions, like the Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg Group, Council on Foreign Relations. The world leaders that get together, they decide what's going on. Now that I'm not I'm not a Republican who's all upset that this came out by the Democratic leader. I don't care, Republican, Democrat, don't matter to me. None of them have my best interest at heart. So anyhow, let's continue on here real quick. So we're looking at this here. During 8 years of President Bush, went up $4.9 trillion. So yeah, a lot of spending under Bush. But we're up $4.6 trillion under Obama. We're talking 8 years versus 3 years. So he's almost spent what he spent just in 3 years. By the end of this year, he will surpass what he spent in 8. So, I don't want to get into the whole thing, well, he inherited this, whatever. I don't care. I'm just looking at the numbers. These are what the numbers say. Under Clinton, we went up $1.54 trillion, 37%, right? $4.9 trillion under Bush. And at the date of this chart, we were up $3.6 trillion under Obama. So apparently there was a person that, you're not going to believe this, there was a person at the Treasury Department who put together this chart using the treasurydirect.gov site, and they accidentally used January 20th, 2010 as opposed to January 20th, 2009 as the starting date for Obama's presidency. So I took $1 trillion and added it to Bush and took it away from Obama. So this is what we actually have. So here's the adjustment. Okay, this 2 weeks later, Nancy Pelosi had this on her Flickr account. Nothing changes except here. Okay, so here's 30. Now look at this, 37 and 35. That's in 3 years, and that's in 8. Way bigger spender. If you look at these two guys, the percentage is lower because the debt is so much higher. But in actuality, the debt's going up $5 billion a day right now under President Obama. It went up $1.66 billion a day under Bush. I'm not trying to make Bush out to be anything that he's not. He was a big spender. But we're seeing the most rapid increase in debt under any president right now. So to me, this is useless information. Okay? That's the bottom line for me. Now, we look over here at Reagan. The debt was $900 billion when he took office, 2.7 when he ended. So yeah, a huge percentage. But in 8 years, he spent what, 1.8 trillion? We're doing that a year now. See, but all this is confusing because of inflation. So a dollar didn't buy what it bought back in Reagan's time. It doesn't buy that now. So the numbers are skewed. So we look over here. This will show us this here. I took this off of an article that I found. I did some research and I found that someone had figured out the numbers and told Nancy Pelosi that it was wrong. So she came out with another chart. But debt versus debt as a percentage of GDP, some economists will tell you that it's not the size of the debt per se, but rather the size of the debt relative to the nation's gross domestic product. This helps minimize the complicating effect I was talking about of economic cycles and inflation. So how do those numbers stack up? Using the OMB statistics, here's what the numbers are as a debt versus debt as a percentage of the gross domestic product. We see Reagan up 14.9%. He raised the debt versus what was being produced in the country. George Bush up 7%, Clinton up 13%, and Obama 21.9% just through December 2010 only. I mean, this gives us a better picture of what's really going on. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that it was just bugging me. I knew something was wrong with this, and now it makes more sense after what I found out. But Obama is by far the biggest spender we've ever had.